All right, we are done recording. Yeah, Gazer, you didn't stall for once. Wow.
I don't stall. I don't want it to end sometimes, man. I really enjoy what we're doing here.
Are we still live?
We're live. Yeah, we're still live, but the recording is done at least.
Count the money. Drop the Prime sub for you guys.
Yes, Count. Appreciate you, man. Do not use that email. Yo! Huge rate just came in.
I'm gonna go toilet quick. I need a quick wee, but I'll be back in 2 secs, all right?
When the raid comes in, Sean says I have to go toilet.
And then now he also moved the screens around too when he turned his camera off.
I see David the raid.
Yep.
Okay, now he's back.
Oh
here.
my
That was the fastest toilet usage I've ever seen in my life.
Nice today. I hope you had a good stream. Thank you very much for the raid. Much love.
Mercy, appreciate the raid.
Oh, poggers. How's everyone doing in chat? Huh? How's everyone? All right, I'm going to toilet. I've done my job. Be right back.
And then our boxes move around. So now you're for the win, and I'm now Gazer Beam.
I'll be for the win.
What this means and what this entails is that man's got entrails. Hit that like button, smash subscribe. I'm Gazer Beam 2K. I got more beats than Dr. Dre fell off the truck or whatever. I don't know.
I literally never said any of that before.
You've said all those things on all of your streams. Do we?
But no, Raiders, we just finished recording a podcast with For the Win TCG. Legit, just finished. It's gonna be a good episode. So when will the episode be out?
Depends on what I do for the rest of my day off. Worst case scenario.
Emily at work?
For now, I have errands I have to run.
Who the hell is Aaron? Your fiance is Emily, bro.
Errands, like ERRANDS.
No idea who Aaron is, man.
Bro,
He's Aaron?
There is no Aaron.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, Gaze was just stupid.
Just... Let me give a shout out to Urshi.
Hey, yo, listen, I peed so fast for your Raiders, all right? I went slipstream.
Since we got this big raid, I think the people are here to talk to you, Sean. Anyone want to ask For the Win TCG any questions? Remember, he's a big time YouTuber. He's a big boy.
Oh, behave. I need some water.
Yeah, you got to replace that urine.
Did that shout out work? It worked. Okay, there we go.
That flew out, mate. Absolutely flew. I was loving it, man. I nearly took off. Great fun. Well, I'll tell you what, that was a good episode, though. I quite enjoyed that. That was quite fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I enjoy our episodes. The ones we had you on a lot, man. Like even our first one, like we talked about, was way back, our infancy stage for babies. We didn't know what we were doing, but that was such a fun episode. We talked with the chat for like 20 minutes afterwards, just goofing around, talking, and yeah, we all have good chemistry together. We vibe very well, man.
For sure.
You're like in between like Gazer's goofiness and my seriousness. It's like the perfect medley.
The perfect middleman, yeah. Oh no, it's fun.
Wow, look at that person. What a nice comment that was.
What person? Who? No person.
Whatever mod got rid of that. That was quick. But man,
they did well.
They that person really has a.
What person? That mod was me.
Okay, well, good. Wow, Gazer, I applaud you. That was quick.
There we go. I just wanted some love, man, for once.
Good job, man. Good job. Do you edit your stuff? And if you do, where do you learn? Is that for me? Rotom, I recognize Rotom. If that's for me, I'm assuming
that's definitely got to be for you. Yeah.
I do edit my stuff, yes. And I learned myself over time of man's about to say developing, from just I started off on Sony Vegas, and I just like the idea of making content for
that's why I started.
Ages.
Sony Vegas. Yeah, that's where I started too.
Definitely didn't illegally download it. Started
me either. No, not at all.
No, not at all. And then started going. Then I go on Premiere Pro. But it's just over time of just wanting to make content and wanting to make fun edits. That is just all self-taught. I do it myself. Takes ages though. Takes a lot longer now. Now it's like 2 hours editing, whereas before I just throw it in, do a little cut up, and it's long, but it pays off, man. It's good.
I'm poor. I use DaVinci Resolve.
I use DaVinci Resolve too.
Honestly, I've heard good things about DaVinci. I've heard some really good things about DaVinci.
I'm like slow. I just learned yesterday how do a freeze frame. Finally, like,
Really?
so I got a little bit weird with the what's the card called, Ortega. Keep an eye out for that in the box opening, because I got a little goofy. I kind of came out of my shell a little bit, so let's see how that pays off.
Okay.
Hey, if it's you being yourself, it'd be fine.
I hope.
So you're posting the box opening tomorrow. What about the ETB?
Staggering that.
Okay.
So I don't know yet, but I need to get that build and battle stuff taken care of first.
Bro, that's like your go-to, man, because people like to watch that because they want to know what to play for their well, not what to play, but what's going to be in their pre-release kits and how to play with it.
If MW can hop on the assist on that one tomorrow, then it'll go out tomorrow evening at the absolute latest.
Dude, just quit your job and just
honestly
edit the video.
I to be completely like transparent, I want to quit. I want to quit my job. I want to
chill. Your
quit.
boss is going to hear you. Chill.
He doesn't. Can
I ask what your job is?
I work at a LGS, right? But it's a ghost town.
Right. What would be your next stepping stone? Do you think?
Before I worked for work there, I did Twitch full time.
Okay.
For a whole year, and I made it by. Some months were scarier than others. But I got by. I would, now that we have a tiny little bit of podcast revenue, a little bit of YouTube revenue, merch and stuff, plus if I streamed full time and made content out of the streams, I think I could do a little bit better than I did in the past. But again, it's so Twitch is so reliant on generosity of community members.
Oh yeah.
And I've streamed once in 3 months now. So I don't know how well I could come back to.
Twice. You streamed twice. You streamed last week.
I did, last week. Yeah, okay, last week, and then the day Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I wanted to last night, but I had no energy. So I've already fallen short on. I promise I'll do it once a week. I've already whiffed. But we also had some inclement weather last night too, so kind of.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah.
So I don't know other than that what I would do. Started only. No one wants to see my ugly ass, Curly. I'm lucky enough to have. I'm fugly. I'm lucky enough to have a loving partner.
Stupid. Thank you. You didn't have to.
Not you, Gazer.
Oh,
get out of here. Get out of here.
When you said loving partner, I just assumed. Okay.
No, not like that. But. And I also I have all these video games and like collectibles behind me that worst case scenario I reopen my old eBay store and come back from the dead from that, because I mean, like, I don't want to like give away too much information, but I have quite the big retro gaming collection that I've had for years that I haven't spent into in the last couple years, where all the prices have gone up. I have insurance on my video games, if that says anything.
Cool.
So I could be okay to an extent to survive, but I really want to quit my job. I come home so fucking depressed.
As long as you've got some footing to stand on. I know that feeling. When I was 9 to 5 wasn't for me. It wasn't for me.
It's a 12 to 8 is what it is. So it's like it's in the middle of the day. It ruins the mornings and the evenings.
Oh yeah, because you have too little time in the evenings, and in the mornings you're just getting ready for work most of the time.
Yep, I have a half-hour commute each way.
Yeah, see, that's awkward. That is awkward. There's a lot of people in that position, man. A lot of people in that position.
And
some
like
people are made for it, some people aren't. But...
It's got its benefits. I get product early a little bit in terms of like the build and battle kits and so on and so forth, and like I run the league there too, and I did that before I even worked there or whatever. But I don't know why it's so depressing.
I think you'd have to look at yourself with that one and figure out what you have to ask yourself the question, what about it is making it depressing, and break it down.
I think it's because it's just so dead.
Down.
It's dead.
Maybe it's void of interaction. Maybe it's void of actually like doing something meaningful, right? Because
I know you said that
instead of doing nothing, it's void.
I know you said the owner is kind of like, whatever with it, but is there a way you can maybe turn things around a little bit yourself?
I've done all I can with what power and tools I have access to. If that makes sense. Like the days that we have like a league challenge or a pre-release, it's packed, it's booming, I feel good, happy times. And like he could make no money or make all the money from a day of sales. I don't make any more or less, if that makes any sense too. Right? So I have no incentive to go beyond what I'm already going beyond for. Like everyone loves the pre-releases. They love the league challenge. The league cup's not for 3 weeks and it's almost already fully booked. And I know every name on the list except for 2 people that are coming to play. So like people come to play Pokemon because I'm there and I run it the way I do. When I'm not there on a Saturday, the guys are like, we don't even go. We don't go at all.
Seems like you need something more fulfilling from my perspective, from what I can see, right? Something that's gonna listen in my position, because I do this as my job now, right? Don't get me wrong, it doesn't pay too much. I'm in a position where I'm lucky to do it as my job. It's the best option I currently have, right? I can't actually get a full-time job being a full-time single parent, right? I pick up my son from school, I look after him from school. Obviously, you can make the case for me getting childcare and stuff like that, but I lose my relationship with my son from that, and I'm not doing that.
I agree.
So, best options I've got is I get support from the government because of my position, and then I basically have this as my business that I'm working on, that they're aware of, they're supporting that as well, because they want people to make their own businesses and do that kind of stuff. But even from my position, right, which is for a lot of people the ideal one, right? I don't go work, I make videos for a living effectively, and I do what I want to do. Even then, there's still stresses. Even then, there's still things that can put you down. It's just a different kind of thing. Like for me, if I'm recording a video, and I'm not trying to compare it in any sort of way to your experience, of course, I would take this over, from what I used to do any day of the week. But, it's not the, oh my God, this is amazing type of way of living as many people idealize it to be.
No, I know.
Very far from it. It's definitely better, don't get me wrong, but it will come with its own stresses and things. But yeah, the fulfillment side of it definitely pays off. So from what I can tell, it might be that you just need something more fulfilling, something more meaningful.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I did Twitch for a whole year and I was happy as hell. It was stressful financially, but like Emily also did sort of her own thing. She was still going through school and whatnot. I think we were both happier when we didn't have like any masters or whatever the term is. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to, you don't have to be there at X o'clock at X time and do so on and so forth. And I think it was the freedom that we had that made it truly better. And it sucks to say that the pandemic made everybody happy at the same time. That like that's awful to say.
It did, though.
But it really did. It definitely. I was happier when everything was shut down and we were all closed out and so on and so forth.
It did, though. I had to talk to my stepdaughter the other day because we were having a little debate, and she was like, "Yeah, the pandemic was good, and it was it was a good thing that happened." I said, "It wasn't a good thing that happened." I said, "But there are good things that came from it."
Silver lining.
Yeah, there's silver lining. Yeah, so she wouldn't see it past. It's good it happened because this, she had a whole reason. I'm like, those are good things that came from it, but it's not good that people were sick, people died, or things like that. I said that's not good. I said, but there's good things that came. So I feel like one of the good things is, like you said, Subin, that free time that people have had. Things were shut down, people couldn't do much, so we're indoors, and we get to take a chance to breathe for a second. I started streaming, so I met you, Sean. I met you, Stu, and stuff like that. So there are good things that came from it. So I can see where you're going leaning towards, Stu. But I mean, now you're from 3 years ago. You're in a whole different spot now than you were when you tried to live off Twitch for a year, Stu. You might be able to pull it off again, man.
Like I said, I need to ease back into it and then go from there. But at the same time, like. I also, like we've talked about before, Gazers, like I don't see this store lasting. And now,
I mean, you said that over a year ago, and it's still here.
Now, though, it's even more questionable because his big breadwinner was the way he handled Digimon, and then now that his Digimon community and him, they fucking hate each other now. They hate each other.
Sorry, I missed that. Who hates who?
Okay, so the store, his big thing was like Digimon for a little bit.
Okay, yeah,
And he had a pretty tight community. They'd all come. The set would come out. They'd all buy. They'd play pre-release and then buy a couple boxes each, and so on and so forth. And now the way the economy has shifted, there's less spending in general across the board. Also, at the same time, the collectors of Pokemon are buying less sealed product because they dislike the direction of the Scarlet and Violet era. A lot of them that would come in and buy a box or two of every set that was come out, now they aren't buying any, if any, minimum whatsoever, because they hate like, oh, there's no value here. I can't make blah blah blah. There's no $200 chase card. Miriam's only $40. This is stupid. So on and so forth. And then recently, like the Digimon peeps have just stopped supporting financially, and then he kind of like grew irritated by it seems, and now there's a disconnect between them completely. And so there's I think there's been, especially with this newest release that is just not selling at all for them, I think there's easily $4 or $5 grand of sealed Digimon product just collecting dust. And when you're a small business with one employee, $4 to $5 grand of inventory that is collecting dust, literally. Like I could touch it and I could wipe my finger off and there's dust on it if I really wanted to. That's not good. That's not good for a small game shop to sit on that. You want to be able to move product, even if you're moving it to where like your profit margins are smaller. If you're moving more consistently, that's more foot traffic and everything in there.
Yeah.
So the end might be nigh. But I mean, you had these same vibes
at the same time though. Like,
but now
the league challenge is they're booming. League Cup almost not even happened yet. It's the 12th. That's what, 3 weeks away. 2.5 weeks away. It's almost full. Pre-registration for it's almost full. Tomorrow. Saturday. I can like almost 30 if I put up an extra table or two. We'll see how Saturday goes with pre-releases. We're running 2 of them again. The last 2 were almost both sellouts back to back. The Pokemon playing side of things is doing well, but the rest of it is just like I think Monday I sat there for 6 hours with not a soul in. Tuesday, the last 2 weeks, the first people that came in were for like trade night at 6 o'clock. I sat there for 6 hours those days with no transactions, and even then one of them bought 2 booster packs, the other one bought 10, and I think that was it for the day.
That's very similar to the card shop that's near me. It's been going forever. It's been going for years and donkeys. But I think it mainly survives on its events. But yeah, similar thing. When I walk past that place, there's just nothing happening. It's just a Donny standing there, and I'm like, I feel sorry for you, man. Like the worst job in the world is the job of doing nothing. That's my opinion. And when you're doing nothing, it is tragic because you have to sit there and not do anything.
Most days I'm literally getting paid to play on my Switch or on my phone.
Yeah, which you would think is a good thing, right? But it actually is not, because you're not having meaningful interactions with people. You're not doing something or working towards a goal yourself.
Like if I was off, I could go to the park and walk or run or exercise or something. I'm trapped. Yeah. I'm trapped there to serve no one.
So you need something to work towards. Something, it may be in the content creation for maybe elsewhere. But if you're doing something where you're not working towards anything, you're not actually doing anything meaningful, that's probably the worst position to be in my opinion, when it comes to a career, because years will fly by quicker than you think, and you're in the same place. That doesn't work well with the human biology and the human psyche.
We're
not built for that.
Bite the bullet and buy a nice laptop and like maybe work on videos or editing while I'm there or something.
I told you that a while ago, man. I think that's
just committing. But like, why would I commit to like a laptop when I have this? Like I have all of this expensive, overpriced shit. You know what I mean? Like that's an extra cost that I just can't justify.
Sweet. Well, I mean, if you say you can't, you might not be able to justify it. But if that's the one thing that could turn coming home from work feeling depressed to coming home from work and feeling that you've been productive.
You did something. You accomplished something.
That's a good investment, I think. personally. That's it. I don't understand the financials behind it, but on your end. But ultimately, like for me, it would be like, right, that's if I was able to do that, financially speaking, and be okay, then yeah, I think that would justify it for me.
I might have to consider it, pawn a couple
I mean,
fancy
obviously that's one idea.
BS pieces off and go from there.
Yeah, but honestly, you have to be doing something at your work, working towards something. That's what a lot of dead end jobs are, right? People talk about, I worked at a dead end job, man. I work for a cool company. You know, I'm just sitting there answering phone calls. No desire to go further in that field. No chance to anyway. That's a dead end job. Those are the jobs where you have to, if you think you've offered enough, and if you think you can't offer more, then yeah, start looking elsewhere, but in a prepared way, right? Or if you think you need to get paid more, it's a similar thing. It's a very similar thing, right? Get your CV going. I don't know if it's called a resume in the US. Get your resume sorted. Start applying for jobs. Do loads of interviews. Have backups so you can ask for a raise, and it doesn't matter if you get sacked for asking for a raise. You have your backups ready to go. If it means leaving a job, start doing a similar thing where you can just always have something to fall onto if things don't go your way. But ultimately, just move forward. That's what I think needs to happen. I think if you were to ask me, I don't know if I'm putting too much in there.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
But I feel like from my perspective, it sounds like you're kind of in a still standpoint, and you need to move forward, and that's the next necessary step.
Yeah.
So listen to this man. Listen to this man.
No, I agree. Either the store needs to grow in some shape or form, or bring in more things to get people in the door to keep me interested and motivated to be involved with it, or I just need to use the time for whatever else, or just GTFO.
Yeah, whatever it is that's going to get towards your next step. I think that's the ultimate thing, you know, because I've been in a spot of going nowhere, and it's just, it's not fun. It's not fun compared to when you have things to work towards.
Yeah, like when I'm home, I could do all these things. We could record podcasts, I could edit the podcast, work on videos, do whatever else, do design. I have my Wacom tablet and all that stuff that I haven't had like a drive to touch it because I have no reason to at the moment, and I kind of miss all that stuff. Yeah, by all means, as long as in that process you are able to support yourself financially. If you're able to do that, you're fine, absolutely fine, and then go for it, man. Go for it. That's what I decided to do. Pays off, does pay off. Yeah. Do we have any other chatty questions?
I've seen a couple things for Sean. Let me see if I can go back up and find them. There was a couple things earlier.
We kind of went off the deep end there with me venting a little bit, but I appreciate it. It feels good to get it off my chest.
That's good.
There was some questions for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Oh, what kind of decks? This came from Count the Money. What kind of decks do you get most hyped about to showcase on your YouTube, man? Like, what gets you? Like, what kind of decks do you like to play on your YouTube? Like, hey, I could play this, and this would be great. I guess in general, yeah.
Oof, that's tough. It's tough to answer. It's honestly a case by case basis. If I look at it, I can go, oh, I like that, and then I'm gone. I like the ones that are very combo heavy, but also have something to it. I can't explain what it is, but there's something about it that makes me think, yeah, this is good. This is fun. That's for me, I would say, personally. So there's no like single type of deck. It's just whether or not it's something that I think I would look at and go, yeah, this gives me something to kind of go, ooh, I like that. That's it. I know it doesn't really answer the question. It's like I like the deck. That's what makes me like it. But I don't know. I think it's the combo nature of it, the rogue nature of it, the potential of it. It's what makes me excited. Yeah.
And then there was another one I saw. I'll read that in a second. Oh, okay. So our friend Rotom, he wants to start exploring, YouTube space. He has a Vegas bundle himself. Cool. He wants to know, how'd you learn the software? Did you just experiment with it? Did you read the books? How'd you figure it out?
All by myself. YouTube, a lot of YouTube. Having a vision of what I wanted it to look like, and then figuring out how to do it the best I could. I'm nowhere near high level editing, but I just wanted to do it in the way that I could. I think it's nice. I think it adds a personal touch. I like my videos to kind of have that personality to it. So though it's not like very polished, you see a lot of polished content, right? A lot of polished edited content, especially in the PTCG space now. It looks cool, it looks good, it looks clean, but I do think it lacks personality. I think it lacks genuine the creator's touch. I think, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
You can tell when someone's paid for an editor to edit it, which I don't think is a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. This is just me from a creative perspective.
Stupid.
I don't care about that.
What are you saying my name for, Gazer?
I don't think it's a bad thing, stupid.
Uh-huh.
What? What are you saying my name for? What did I do?
Doesn't care. Regarding the editing.
What about it?
So Sean, I told Steuben, because Steuben has a lot going on. He edits his own videos sometime. MW helps him out sometime. He edits the podcast. I say, Stu, let me cash out for an editor for us sometime. Buy you a week. But he'll give me 18 different reasons why it's not, why we shouldn't. I'm like, man, I can't edit like you guys can. You guys are better editors than me. But I'm like, I'm willing to pay for
I am not a good editor. I'm like Sean said earlier, I'm efficient. I'm not good. Like there's the efficiency versus like doing it all like to make it better. I just do it to get it done and get it done like in a timely manner. I don't take the extra steps that I could do to make it better. But at the same time, I think if somebody edited our podcast who doesn't actively listen or is not actively involved in our community, I think they would ruin it.
Oh, you think they'd be out of touch?
I think they would be out of touch.
I'll take it to Twitter and see if anyone on Twitter wants to do it then. How about that? And I'll bet you have some listeners who want to do it. And I'd say, hey, we got conversation.
Yeah, if it comes to like editing podcasts, I think the out of touch, I do agree with that. I do see your worry. I think it'd be fine though, personally. I think podcast type of content seems to be quite, easy. It's easy to edit. It's just time consuming. Mm-hmm. Right, that's all it is. It's that's what it wants to be.
It's like it's re-listening to the entire conversation and trimming out dead space and
making sure
audio levels and so on and so forth. Yeah,
it all flows well. Yeah, in that sense, that doesn't really line up with what my point originally was. My point was more the creative aspect of the editing, not the sense of doing it for a timely manner, because there's not much more you could do for a podcast creatively speaking in terms of that. I guess genre of content is one way for me to say it. I was just more talking of just in general, more videos in the Pokemon TCG space. I think I've seen some videos where I'm like, it just lacks personality. And I would love to be able to pay for an editor myself one day, but for now, I kind of like the personal touch that my content has.
I mean, at the same time, how you have a vision in mind, how you want it to be executing, what you want to see from it. But if you start collaborating with a editor, and you guys get on the same track, the same page, they'll know exactly how you want it to go. Anyways.
Exactly.
I mean, eventually you have to take that, eventually you have to take that step because your hands get too full. You have to take that step and let someone, take some of the pressure off you, take some of the plates off your tray for you sometime. And, as you guys start to collab more, you guys will start to, have a feel for each other, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you 100% you see that, but that's for me. That's so far away. Like, you have to make enough for yourself and then enough for someone else. Right, it's not just you getting by anymore. You got to support someone else now, right? It's basically having an employee.
You're not that far out, Sean.
Oh Jesus Christ! No! I'm very far off of that. No, God no. I'd have to be sustainably supporting myself, and then to be able to sustainably support someone else. Like for 13K subscribers, I think the money I get from it is good for my level, right? I think it's good for my level, but it ain't all that, you know what I'm saying?
But you're only getting bigger. You've more than doubled since the last time we talked in followers.
Yeah.
Your views are off the charts now. You're only getting bigger.
I know.
You're not too far off. This time next year, I could see you, having to outsource some of your videos because you're too busy doing other things. I could see that happening for you.
No. I don't think so. Personally. Being realistic about it. I think, it's important to be realistic about those things. I don't see that happening. And I'm fine with that. That's what I'm saying. I would love to have someone edit my videos, but don't get me wrong. I'm cool with it.
I'm looking at a video you had 2 weeks ago, the one with Cramorant. And I watched that video too. That's at 13,000 views right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The longer your video, I mean, that's anything, but the longer your videos sit, the more views they seem to get. Because people, they stumble across you because, you have similar content to other creators. They stumble across you, and then they see a deck that piques their interest, and they go back, well, I wonder if he has a deck on this. Oh, what's this video? And, you go into a whole rabbit hole, watching videos, of a new creator, spending an hour or two, and that's how your views catch up. You're not too far off, man.
I know.
Let's bring this man back a year from now. If we're still doing a podcast, oh my gosh! But a year from now, let's bring him back and see where he is then.
I'm cool with it.
Make this a yearly thing. Sean, you're gonna be on this podcast every year, man. Get ready for it.
Yeah, sure. I'm down for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It'll become a yearly special.
Yeah. The For the Win special.
Well, they get like a narrator to like. It's like a Christmas special or whatever. It only comes once a year.
The For the Win podcast special.
For the Win podcast. No, look, I do know what you're saying. I know I'm doing well for my level, right? I try and keep aware of my performance in things. I think it's important to do that. I don't try and let it catch. I try and keep check of ego. I try and make sure that doesn't get ahead of anything. But
Gazer,
I am aware.
I don't have an ego problem, man.
No, I am aware of my performance. I know it's pretty good for where I'm at in terms of like subscribes and stuff like that. But that's something I guess I take pride in. That proving that subscriber count really means nothing. At one point I think I was performing just below what like LDF was pulling off numbers wise at some point. At a quarter of his subscribers, right? I know there's YouTubers that I outperform that are double my subscribers, right? It ultimately, I don't really look at subscriber count too much because it doesn't really mean much. Honestly, it's a representation of your success. It's not the indicator. Your follower count, your subscriber count, it ain't that. It's your videos. How are they performing, right? That's what I like. So I'm aware of that, and I keep track of that, but I also keep very realistic about it. I don't think
you're right. Even if someone doesn't sub, they might watch 100 of your videos.
Yeah, they might watch it. And that's what I'm saying. I want to make the best videos possible. So when someone clicks on my videos to watch it, I want them to go, "Oh, I like that. I had a good time." And that's what the editing was a part of. Because from what I know, I don't know if there's anyone who's in the content creation sphere of what I do who makes videos in that way. I think Celio's Network's done it a bit before when he collabed with LDF. And I mean just like, highly edited, paced, tempoed. I don't know if anyone else does it. I think everyone else still does the kind of, intro game, raw gameplay and stuff like that.
Yeah, it still feels leaps and bounds different in comparison to others.
That's my goal. I want people to watch it and go, "Oh, this person's putting some effort in." Right? They care, which is I do, right? And I want that to show. And that's going to keep people around. It's not just, "Oh, I've got a good deck. Oh, I can make a few jokes." Everyone can do that. I just want to put the extra effort in, and I think that's what I'm just going to keep doing from now on. But going back to that point of the editor, that's way too far. For now, it's just keep making the good videos.
I'll just wait till next year. We'll be having a whole different discussion. Subin Curly out here spitting, man. He said, "Why don't we just start recording these after the pod streams and just upload them raw?"
Again, that would be more time that I do not have. And
you have to look at my wallet and my debit card, my checkbook.
At the same time, Gazer, you will just be losing money. At that point, you are literally just pissing it away.
Product, man. If it gives us a good product, man, and it helps build this.
Gazer, we make maybe $13 a month from the podcast. I'm gonna be transparent. We make a whole $13 a month from the podcast.
Dude, that's up from 5. We were up at 5.
I love it. Let's go. I love it.
We were at 5 for that. That's up, bro.
That is it, brother. He's like, yeah, sweet. That is great, man.
Dude, I know. So real talk, and just so everyone hears this, and so you hear it. This is, I feel like we have something different than other people have, and I told you this plenty of times, man. And if we have to, you got to break a few eggs before you make an omelet, right? So if I gotta, spend a little cash to help, just make this grow or make this bigger, I don't care. That's what I'm saying. Whatever I can do to help you out, because I can't edit like you can. So I'm like, whatever I can do to help out, man. If we got to hire someone for a couple episodes, let's do it. I want to help, I want to help take some of this load off you, bro. So you can focus on your YouTube channel and get big too and be as big as Sean a year from now.
Yeah, 100%. I get it. I ain't going to chip in, bro, because, that's between you two on this podcast. But I hear you, Gazer.
I just don't think it's worth it for him to pay for an editor for what we get out of it. No, that's what I like. I'd rather sacrifice my own time then let
Time is
him
money.
piss away his money.
But isn't that the same thing?
I don't know. I
want to help, man. I want to help, and I can't edit like you.
I just got an email the other day that the Spotify automatic payout of like $12.82 is coming to my bank account. Will be due.
Wait, why do you get it all? How come I don't get it? How
It's
come I
all
don't see any of
attached
this?
to my social security
He's
number
running.
and everything. Oh boy, it's $13, Gazer. What are we gonna do? Fight over it?
I demand my $7.
First of all, half of that after tax is not $7. $12.82 is $6.41, and then tax.
I demand my $6.
Hey, listen, I understand it financially speaking, but is this a financial project or a passion project?
It's passion.
The
money doesn't matter.
Yeah. Because I like to throw money at things that were. You got to have some money aside for like putting it into things that are like, you know, financially viable, and then you got to have something that you just put into aside for something you love. And that's at that point, it's not wasting it, in my opinion. That's just my take. My take's like,
Somebody clip that.
throwing it-
Sean out here spitting.
oh God, behave.
Somebody clip that.
No, that's what I think. Though. That's what I think. I think if it's going into something you love, as long as it's reasonable, don't be stupid, then it's 100% worth it. You know.
And you're right. I've seen people who are, to be frank, be real. I've seen people who are not very good at streaming. You know, they don't have the personality for it, or the energy level for it. Just they don't have the high level gameplay. They're not good at streaming. But I see them spend thousands of dollars on setups and stuff like that. I'm like, I understand you have a passion for it, but this might not pan out for you very well. So yeah, you're right.
But
Putting some money towards something, but not going crazy with it.
Yeah, it does. It still depends on why you spend it. You can still spend about if that's something you're passionate about. Passion doesn't tie to success. It's not the same entities. They're different things, right? In fact, success actually kind of drains passion a little bit. You might think, because it requires you to do it as a job, which actually sucks passion out. Look, 'cause you have to bring yourself to do it at times when maybe you don't want to, right? So yeah, ultimately, if it's a passion project, then treat it like that. Put the effort that you want to put into it. That is enough for you to develop it in the way that you want it to develop. Effectively, if you're spending thousands on a streaming setup, you have to let go of the fact that you maybe won't succeed, or even likely to not succeed. You have to let go and go, right, okay, that might happen, but I want to do this anyway because I enjoy that. And if it doesn't work out, I don't care. That's passion, right? That's a passion project. It's like, I don't care how it turns out. I'm just going to put it in and go for it and see what happens. If it doesn't go that way, fine. It's still something I love. And that's what a passion project is, in my opinion. Something that you work on, and regardless of the outcome, you just keep doing it because you enjoy it. Right? That's what it is, I would say, in my opinion. You know?
Susan, can I passionately give some money for an editor now? Passionately.
Hey, listen, I ain't trying to convince nothing, brother. All I'm trying to say is my thought process. You know, no one has to agree with me. That's just kind of how I see things, you know?
Keep your goddamn money, Gazer. You have a son to take care of that you forgot to shout out. Yeah,
I do have a son.
I do have a son. Yo.
Well, no, Sean, I was on the. Did you see me on the Fresno regional? They interviewed me on there. I interviewed with Frosted Caribou.
Oh, I think I saw you post on Twitter, but I didn't see much of it. No.
Yeah, I interviewed with her, and at the end, she was like, we had talked about, what we shouldn't say and what could be, for a little, for a second. So I had to, pick and choose what I said, carefully. And at the end, she's like, any shout outs? And I was like, well, yeah, my wife, who's here, my stepdaughter. I said, we have some local shops here in Fresno. I named off a few shops. I said, my sponsor, Darkside Games. I was like, yeah, I think that's it. I have a son. My son will be 2 on Sunday. I have a 2-year-old son I forgot to shout out. So I hope 10 years from now, if he watches this, watches that, he never sees it 10 years from now. Don't come, Dad. Tell me about what happened at Fresno.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that'd be hilarious, man. Imagine him coming up to me and told her, Dad, what's all this about? About me?
Well, son, you weren't born yet.
Yeah. No, I get it. It slips, man. It says, I remember getting a job interview with someone and the boss was someone who I went to school with, and they knew I had a kid. And they were like, oh, so what motivates you in the morning? And I'm like, making money. And they're like, she was like, oh, you have a son, right? I'm like, oh yeah, of course. It just slips your head. I'm like, obviously, but like, I'm here for a job, mate. Give me the moolah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel it, bro. I get it. just slips sometimes.
Yeah.
It's kind of a no-brainer at some points, you know. Yeah, it's quite funny that.
Oh, Gazer.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Stephen, let's not hold Sean up anymore. It's getting late over there, man.
Yeah, I gotta eat some lunch or something. It's almost 4 o'clock.
Breakfast. It's 12. I haven't eaten anything. It's 12:30 now.
3-hour stream, lads. Good shit.
See, when the people would pay money for this to be on Patreon, man.
You say that, but like again, I'm not asking people for their money. I'm not asking for it. I'm not.
People will do it though.
I don't know.
I have members. That's pretty cool. It's nice. It helps. I mean, if it helps, by all means. I mean, funny enough, mentioning the editing, I had a little hiccup, I guess you could say, on my just briefly before we leave. Where I did the video on Blastoise, and someone thought I put in a game against AI in the video to try and pass it up as me winning a game. Yeah, if you watch it, you'll see where they're playing the superior deck with Altaria, and they're playing pretty poorly. So people are like, and my face cam covers the name, so you can't see who it is. So literally, the top comment was like, "Did you really put an AI game in here?" I'm like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" I woke up and I was like, "Bloody hell!" So I had to go into my editor and prove it by I uploaded a private video and put it on the pinned comment. Was like, "No, I didn't face AI. Here's proof." And by showing the editing, someone who was an editor commented, said, "Oh, I can see how much work this is. You've earned yourself a new member," and became a member on the channel.
Oh wow!
Just because they wanted to support, because they could see that hard work. So honestly, asking for help, there's no problem. People willingly do it, man. It's hard to find people who do it, but when they do, it's great. It does help.
I think I have almost 20 members or something on YouTube, but like I appreciate it. I say thanks at the end of every video, and I also make it 99 cents, so like it's not like a financial burden. If somebody really wants to do it, then they can do it. But I don't know.
Mine's a $5. Yeah, but
I have other tiers or whatever if they really want to, but
that's what I'm saying. It's an option, right? You shouldn't feel guilty for that. If someone's willing to do it, then that just shows that they want more of your content. It's more about it's validation as much as it is financial support as well. So,
Subin, I think do something with these extra long episodes like this, man. We gotta.
Well,
something's gotta be done.
I stopped recording a while ago, but the VOD will be there for a little bit. So
there you go.
If you want, you're an editor on the channel, so you can log in and download the VOD, and then you can send it to an editor.
What are you talking about? You think I can do any of that?
Yeah, why couldn't you? It's easy. You click into mod view, and then you go to the channel dashboard, and then you go to the video manager, and then you hit download, and there you go. There's the VOD.
New Patreon page, Gazer Skrilla Villa. What the hell?
God,
hey, chat. Sometimes some of you are funny, man. Jesus.
Wild. All right.
Sean, if you stream more often, you would have a fun interactions like this. You only stream like once a month.
Oh, I love my chat, man. Yeah, I know. I
told LDF this too when I saw him in NAIC. You guys, YouTubes are banging. You guys are great. But if you stream once a week on Twitch, if you just found the time once a week, and you've been doing a little bit more often, Sean. You've been like once every 8 or 9 days now. But if you guys did it once a week, things would open up so much more, and just it'd be so great.
Yeah,
you get a whole different kind of viewership, and then that translates sometimes to the YouTube, and from the YouTube to the Twitch, and it's more revenue for you guys as well too. If you guys because you guys are big enough to do that. If you guys streamed once a week.
Yeah, I could. For me, it's always hard to get a consistent schedule anyway. I mean, now the fact that I ain't got my little boy for the time being, I can just stream whenever I want, really. So I can stream a lot, and I do. But when I've got my little boy, streaming at the night's a bit difficult because he's in bed. Can't be doing my shenanigans. And then on the weekends, I think I mentioned this last time, and it's still true. I try to upkeep a good social life, and because I need to interact with people and have friends and keep that going. So on the weekend, that takes priority. So then, usually on the weekend nights, I'm out. And then if it is a night in, that's a night where I can just be like, okay, I'm chilling to myself. So it's very hard to find a night to stream, which is why it's so inconsistent. But yeah, that's pretty much the reason why I'd love to do it more, but it's just I'm okay with doing it inconsistently for the time being, because everything else is more important to me personally when it comes to that.
And that's fair. I mean, if you can squeeze it in, you can. Yeah, I'm saying it would be super beneficial. I feel like if you did more, but I understand exactly what you're saying. So I'm not even mad at you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know I could get a lot more out of this, but there's a trade-off, You gotta have a trade-off. Sit there and go, okay, I'll have this much success and then this much personal free time, personal things, mental health, all that jazz. You've got to
Gazer,
balance
we're
it
not
versus
rating
scale.
Amaranth.
Oh, so I just sent a few suggestions in the chat, man.
Yeah,
People to rate.
I typed Jesus, and we're sending everybody to Jesus. That sounds bad.
Jesus.
You're all going to visit Jesus today.
I'm gonna go see Jesus.
Oh Lord. Oh man.
MW, thank you for you're doing Arceus's work, man.
Freaking Amaranth.
He's gonna download the VOD and get it on YouTube. MW,
I know what
let me-
Gazer's doing after the stream's over. Zip.
I have to eat first, and then Pineapple, you're in here lurking. What's up, Pineapple? But yeah, you guys, we're heading over to the
That's what
library.
Gazer's
Jesus,
gonna be doing.
homie of mine, man. When you guys get there, if you call him, what do I call him? Biblioteca? How do you spell biblioteca?
You mean biblioteca?
Yeah, how do I
I think it's Bibliotecha. Is it?
Biblioteca Jesus. Bib. I'm not gonna be able to type it in time, am I? Bib.
No. All right, goodbye everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Much love. Episode should be out tomorrow
It's
on
Spanish for
audio
library of
platforms.
Jesus. It's Spanish.
Thanks for dealing with Gazer shenanigans once again.
Bib.
Much love, everybody. Goodbye.
Bib.